All right. Jared and Parker, it looks like you guys are the only two on right now. Can you just let me know that you can hear me so I know that I'm not talking to myself? Okay, awesome. And it looks like RJ just popped on.
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Pretty good. How was your Thanksgiving?
Oh, it was wonderful. How about yourself?
Great. Yeah, I had a really nice Thanksgiving. It was really relaxing. The whole weekend was really good.
Good. So what we're mainly going to do today is kind of touch base on a couple of assignments and how everything's going and where we're moving forward to, because I haven't talked to all of you in a little bit, and just make sure we're all on the same page. So, Jared and Parker, I'm assuming this message probably applies to both of you. If I'm incorrect, correct me on that. Um, so it sounds like it looks like you have a lot of AEP work going on, and you soon have AEP finals. So you have a complicated schedule. Okay. Uh, so what I wanted to start with is going over the assignment that I gave you like before Thanksgiving break. So it um, went up on the site 2 weeks ago, and only one person's turned it in. So first, I wanted to touch base if that's because people like you're confused and you're not sure what you're supposed to do, or you don't have it done just because of life. So the assignment that I'm talking about is the one where I was asking you to compile all of the concentration pieces that you currently have done onto one page, and then actually take the time to go through that kind of giant college board rubric. So we're kind of doing a process check. So if those of you that are on the call can kind of just give me a little bit of insight as to if you haven't gotten it done because you don't understand what you're supposed to do, or you haven't gotten it done because you haven't gotten it done. You can type or talk to me. Or if you have no idea what I'm talking about, you can tell me that too.
I actually haven't done it yet.
Okay.
That
So,
was the one for this week. I'm going to though. I just like started on it, but I haven't like finished it. That's what I
but
meant
you
to say.
understand what you're doing?
Pretty much. I think I have a good understanding of it.
Okay. Jared and Parker, I have finished the assignment and will be submitting tonight. Cool. And I think we have Kaylee on here. Kaylee, can you just just give me a like, oh, here we got it. I was a bit confused on how to grade it. Do I grade it based off of the whole piece or each piece? Great question, Kaylee. So, what you're actually doing is we're using the rubric that the people that are scoring your alternate portfolio, we're using the same rubric that they're going to be using. And when they use it, they are actually grading it as a whole body of work. So that's why we haven't been using the rubric for each individual piece because it doesn't work very well on individual pieces. It makes a lot more sense as a whole body of work. So what you're doing is you're putting, if you currently have 5 concentration pieces finished, you're putting all 5 of those concentration pieces together onto one page, and then you are filling out the rubric as a whole body of work. And what I'm going to do really quick is just share my screen with you. We're going to do that. And I'm going to pop up. So these are totally random images that I was just grabbing off my computer earlier. There's several ways, like I said, that you can organize your pieces. This is a pretty easy way if you don't love computers. So this is just a Google Doc that I opened up. I went up to Insert and clicked on Table and chose how many squares I wanted to have. And then if you just put your cursor in one of the squares, jump over to insert image, choose image, and I'll grab whatever's on my computer right now. And then that pops it into the block. So that can be, if you weren't sure how to get them all onto one page, that's a really, really easy way to pop them all in really quickly. But we want them all organized as well as, and I'm going to pop back so I can see you, as well as when you are doing that, you're putting them in the order of how you want someone to look at them, not necessarily the order that you did them in. So the ultimate goal of the concentration as a whole piece is to show growth and transformation. So your goal is you're really looking at your work is thinking what order best shows growth and transformation and works with your concentration statement. Is that making sense to everyone? And Kaylee, if you can just let me know if that answered your question or if you need me for more questions. Okay, Kaylee says she's good. Natalia says she's good. Okay, so the reason that we're doing this now, if you, maybe you're remembering, maybe you're not, your 12 concentration pieces are due January 4th, which is essentially a month from now. So some of you have many more pieces than others completed, but I wanted to take some really serious time on reflecting on where you are thus far in your concentration before you're all the way to the end, as well as now that you've kind of gotten a good hang of your concentration and what you're doing, I wanted you to get a closer look as to what the actual rubric says that the College Board's going to be using. And once you turn your current body, whether that's 4 pieces, 5 pieces, 8 pieces, whatever it is, with your own assessment, then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fill that rubric out for you as well, so that we're getting a pretty good feel for where you currently would be scoring. So that's the goal of this, because it's important for you to understand what they're looking for. And part of the reason that I have you fill out the assessment as well is because it helps me see if you actually understand what they're looking for and understand what the rubric says. And it's just really a good way for you to get more familiar with the things that they're looking for. So that's the goal of this assignment. So the sooner that you send that in to me, the sooner I can get feedback to you, as well as I want to share everybody's concentrations as kind of a whole with all of you, because we haven't really seen each other's artwork in a while. And there's some really awesome progress happening for a lot of people. So everybody good on that assignment, or do you want me to talk about it more? Any other questions?
I'm pretty clear on it. But thanks for the explanation.
Sure. Natalia, it is okay if you turn it in on Friday. The sooner, the better. I will say if you turn it in on Friday, it's likely that I might be able to respond to you sooner, but it's likely that you probably won't hear back from me until Monday, because my weekend is pretty booked out. But yes, you can do that. The other thing that you should be doing, since we have about 4 weeks left, is going back and looking at your calendar, looking at your schedule, thinking about where are you supposed to be and where are you. Okay, so seeing, are you super far behind or pretty close on track? Are you ahead? Just kind of keeping in mind that we only have about 4 more weeks until we hit that point. Obviously, class is not over January 4th. After January, what is going to happen? One, we have to work on your breadth piece. So you have to do 12 breadth pieces. So we're going to be spending a lot of time focusing on those, as well as we're going to be taking some time to seriously, I'll probably meet one-on-one with all of you about your concentration as a whole, and really deciding if there are pieces that need to be reworked. So I know it seems like we're finishing things really early, but there is a method to my madness. So one, it's because we have another 12 pieces that you need to make, which normally go faster and are easier because they don't all have to connect to one another. But I also want to make sure that you have time to redo pieces and that we can really make this the strongest presentation of your work as possible. So that's why that date is what that date is. Okay. Then I wanted to kind of go over the assignment that I put up for this week. And then that's all I had to go over with you today. And I just wanted to hang out and answer any questions about anything you want. So if you haven't already been on the site this week, some of you have probably noticed last week, a few of you turned assignments into me last week, which was totally fine. I've started to pull from different artists, some artists that are current, some artists from history, and I'm trying to give you some more examples of work that might relate to your work in some way, shape, or form to help give you some more ideas and more inspiration. So some of you have already gotten some emails like that from me.
Oh yeah, I really appreciate the looking at the art. So I just want to thank you for that.
Oh, sure.
I really enjoyed looking at Tim Burton's work.
Were you familiar with his work before?
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. I really
Did
grew
you
up with
know?
his
Well, probably
movies.
not. You're a lot farther away. I forget, maybe 3 years ago, he had a show at a museum in New York of all his work that I went to see, which is really cool.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I mean it was very crazy because it was selling out every day, so it was not. I mean, normally when you go to an art museum, it's not really full. You were just jammed up against. It was more like being at a concert than in a museum. There were people just all around you, and you were kind of like herded through the exhibit. But because they also had work from when he was a little kid, so that was really fun to see. Um, so this week, what I was doing over break is just looking through my art history book. And I know Jared and Parker are currently in an AP art history class, so they're getting lots of art history. And kind of trying to pull out artists that in some way, shape, or form are kind of have some similarities, similar ideas, similar styles, things like that to what many of you are already doing. And over the next couple weeks and couple months, I'm going to be doing kind of mini art history lessons, showing you some more work that connects to what you're already doing, to hopefully help give you some more ideas. So this week, what is up there are examples from medieval illuminated manuscripts. And you will see you have an assignment to go with it, but I think I gave you 3 weeks. I gave you 2 or 3 weeks. I give you a decent amount of time because I'm aware that you're also working on concentration pieces. So in the assignment, you're going to be designing your own illuminated manuscript. On the website, there's a couple of videos for you to watch. There's a bunch of examples, and then it explains the assignment more. The other thing, just in case you didn't realize this, any of the kind of like extra assignments that I plug in once in a while, there's a couple reasons for them. One, they do have the potential that they may end up being pieces in the breadth part of your portfolio. So they do have the potential to becoming something in your work. But there's also a point creatively. So in order to really work on getting new ideas, we have to keep on feeding our minds with information. And one of the things that sometimes we can get stuck depending on what else you're doing, if you're working on a concentration and something so focused, sometimes you get too focused and kind of too limited, and you get stuck and have trouble coming up with new ideas and have trouble pushing yourself. So the extra assignments that I put in once in a while, they're intentionally designed to take you out of the type of work that you're currently doing and have you approach it from a different direction, just to kind of get some new fuel going into your mind. So that's the purpose of that. But you do have a couple weeks to do that assignment. However, I would at least hop on this week, watch the videos and read over what the assignment is so you have some time for it to kind of float around in your head and to think about it. Are any of the rest of you in art history classes right now? Which is
Yeah, I'm not. That sounds really cool. That sounds really cool.
totally fine. Jared and Parker, what are you guys learning about right now?
We just finished the Gothic churches, which has a very cool effect of the
Nice.
vein-like protrusions of the architecture, which is very similar to a artist that was inspired, the Polish painter, of his Couplet's visions.
Yeah,
Pretty
cool.
interesting.
So are you guys finding that you're getting some inspiration from the artists that you're studying in that course?
Yes, it's very interesting to see how different artists use subjects in their own unique way to use their ideas to and their materials to present a different idea that would originally people would not have thought of before.
Yeah. So do you have a final coming up in that class as well?
Yes, we just finished the all the readings and lessons, so we'll be preparing for the finals next week, I believe. Yes.
And so is that class over then?
We have a 2-week break in December.
Okay.
Then we have to start the second semester for the class.
Okay, so this is just your final for the first semester.
Yes.
Gotcha. Cool. Yeah, and I did send out in today's email the dates for, I think you have about 2 weeks off in December. And I did say, just as we did over the Thanksgiving break, there won't be any new assignments, there won't be any weekly call, but you are more than welcome to continue doing assignments, and you're more than welcome to email me, and I will respond back to you. So at any point over break, don't feel like, if you want my feedback on something, let me know. At the same time, since that's a pretty long break, if you're really stuck and want to do like a Skype call or something like this, if it's helpful for you to actually just talk to me,
Okay.
feel free to just ask and we can make that happen.
Okay, that sounds good.
I'm just working at the gallery over break.
Huh.
So that is all of the things that I wanted to cover with you. I originally was going to have you all look at each other's concentrations. I don't have any of your concentrations yet, so I can't share them with you. So we'll probably do that next week and do kind of like a class critique like we've done before, but this time get to look at everybody's work as a whole. And I think we'll do a lot of feedback on what your concentration statement actually is and if that's carrying through into your work. One other thing that I'm going to add, and you don't have to memorize this, I'm going to write directions for it. So some of you have been doing this more so than others, but I'm going to be stricter about making you do it. Before, when you turn a concentration piece into me, you are going to, and I'm going to upload a new rubric. You're going to fill out the rubric that I normally fill out for you. So you're going to self-assess yourself. And then I'm also going to put a section on the rubric where you can write specifically, which some of you have been doing this anyway, where you can write specifically, I am struggling with this, or I want feedback on this, especially as we're getting farther along. I want to make sure that I'm addressing your specific questions. So again, I will put that up on this week's assignment. I'll put it up on the website so you don't have to remember it. But you're going to start for all of your concentration pieces taking that rubric. And you can do it the way I do it, but you don't have to. I just open the rubric up, I copy and paste it into a new Google document, and then I insert your work right above it, and then respond to the rubric throughout it. So again, it's a good process of reflection so that you can really start to see where you think you're falling, what you think you're doing well on, what you don't think you're doing well on. It's also really helpful for me because sometimes this happens where you might think you're doing a 5 and you're thinking you're doing really wonderfully on something. Um, and for me, it looks lower. It helps me to kind of understand a little bit more where you're coming from to see if we're landing on completely different pages. And then we just have to have more of a conversation, make sure you understand what it's saying. So it's helpful in several ways. I know most people don't like assessing themselves. I don't blame you. So think of it less about assessing and more about reflection. Is really what it is. Reflecting on the work that you've done. Are there questions about that? Nope. Okay. So that's everything that I needed to go over with you today. So as usual, I will hang out and answer more questions if you have them. Um, if not, then I've given you a decent amount of work to do. So you can go ahead and get started on that. I'm really looking forward to seeing your concentration pieces coming through as a whole. And as usual, if you are about anything you're doing, shoot me an email and hopefully I can unconfuse you. All right, did any of you get snow over Thanksgiving?
Snow?
Yeah, I guess some of you
No.
are on the West Coast, so probably not. We got snow here at my house. We got a couple inches.
Nice. I got some rain yesterday.
Oh, okay.
It's
It's
really
here now. And supposed to snow tomorrow morning, and I had off my students where I teach in person. We still had off today for Thanksgiving break. Um, but it looks like maybe we could have a 2-hour delay tomorrow, and I get really excited about.
nice.
Which when you go to school online, you guys just don't ever get them. Maybe all of you are on the West Coast. I forget where everybody lives. Warmer.
Yeah, I'm on the West Coast.
Are you in California? Is that where you are, RJ?
Yeah, I'm in Los Angeles.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so it's not snowing where you are,
No.
huh? Have you ever been to Pennsylvania?
I have like a while back. But I remember it.
Okay. Cool. All
Yeah,
right.
it's
Well,
really
I must
nice.
say, your work is you're growing so much. Like your new pieces that are coming in are really rocking it. So keep up the good work. You're doing a really great job of taking feedback and putting it right into your work. So I'm excited to see where it keeps on going.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, sure.
It's been a lot of fun to it's been a lot of fun like just to build this portfolio and expand upon the story.
Yeah, yeah. They're fun to look at.
Thank you. But
Uh, Go ahead.
thanks for the call and have a great week.
Sure, you too. Bye.
Thank you. See you.